Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation, and as you exhale, just allow any feelings of worry, stress or tension to feel like it's leaving your body in your outward breath. So simply by breathing in and breathing out, you can release any tension in your eyelids. Allow your jaw to become more relaxed. Neck and shoulders just melting away any tension. And as you breathe in and breathe out, notice how good it feels to slow down your breathing. Taking a deeper breath in and a slow, long, deep breath out. Giving you this amazing ability to go deeper and deeper relaxed. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to remember a time when you were out in nature. Perhaps the wonderful countryside of Dartmoor. And maybe you can recall a river or running water. Maybe there was a forest or a woods nearby. But I want you to imagine you're back in that place, feeling freedom, feeling peace. So breathe the way you would breathe if you were completely at peace. Feel the freedom in every cell of your body, because when you're free, tension isn't required. When there is freedom, as you breathe, you can relax any muscles around your neck or your jaw, your chest or your diaphragm. So you're breathing in that natural, fresh, clean air. And as you exhale, get the feeling that anything that is not useful for you is leaving you. So as you breathe out any tension, any stress, any worries, any fears, feel how good it feels to have that leave your body. And the next inward breath in is a powerful feeling of resourcefulness, enabling you to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. And I want you to imagine you're walking towards a river or a stream where there is moving water. And I want you to go to a place where there is a pattern in the water, maybe ripples or currents, almost a pattern that repeats on a loop there in the water. Could be a tiny whirlpool, a pattern of ripples where a current hits a rock and then creates a particular movement in the water. And I want you to fixate your attention on that particular pattern in the water, continuing to breathe in and breathe out. And as you do so, I wonder how it would feel to get lost in your own imagination. And I want you to imagine a future where this feeling of freedom you have right now is a feeling you have every day. But I want you to imagine a future filled with confidence, the ability to do things that you feel you're not able to do. So as you stare into the pattern in that moving water, open your mind not to a possibility, but to a feeling of absolute certainty that your future will change. Your future will change to a future where doors that feel like they're closed begin to open. And sometimes one door opens, such as the door of feeling worthy, feeling filled with confidence. And that future where you've already walked through the door of high self-confidence changes how other people perceive you and how you communicate in social situations. And imagine watching that confident version of you interacting with someone that you would perceive to be highly attractive. And you can tell they're attracted to you. And I want you to imagine what would happen if one thing led to another to create an entirely different future. But it all came from a feeling of confidence that was simply a side effect of feeling good that you're making progress and feeling in control of consistent decisions in your life. And if your unconscious mind is willing to do things differently in the present, to move towards a highly desirable future, let me know by nodding your head. So to continue, keep staring into the patterns in the water, opening your mind to what it would take for an incredible, positive, desirable future. And I want you to acknowledge that your ideal weight of 65 kilograms feels natural, achievable, and completely right for your body. Just accept that to be completely true. And every day, through making what you consider to be good choices, your confidence blooms, allowing you to move closer to your weight and health goals. And what if the confidence to chase after your desires is simply part of your DNA, stronger than any fear or hesitation? I want you to imagine that the idea that a magical amount of confidence is suddenly instantaneously there when you arrive at a certain body weight is just ludicrous. Isn't it much more likely that the closer you get to your ideal body weight, the more confidence increases. So even a tiny amount of progress will mean more and more confidence. So much confidence that a day will come where any fear of rejection and failure is just completely dissolved and dissipated, replaced by a relentless spirit of ambition and courage. So imagine that confident future version of you that can socialize and network, strike up conversations with people they're interested in, with every connection opening doors for your career and perhaps your social life. I want you to see a future where your body is becoming a temple of strength and stamina, ready to conquer challenges, perhaps like climbing 3 tall mountains. And over time, your body is becoming more and more lean and strong, healthy. And as it does so, making big decisions feels easier and more intuitive. Because certain things fuel more things, and as confidence increases, you have the confidence to make better choices. And as you make better choices, your confidence increases even more, to the point where you can imagine catching a reflection of yourself. Even before you get to 65 kilograms, you notice a reflection of yourself perhaps in a shop window or a full-length mirror, and see yourself radiating attractiveness and femininity, feeling desirable in that very moment. And maybe there's things that you can notice on your body in that reflection. Maybe it's muscles that are toned, that you project an aura of strength. Or perhaps you just have a smile that evokes energy and vitality. That desire to do away with counting calories or tracking food becomes entirely possible when eating intuitively becomes your norm, as your body naturally craves nutritious foods. And what if every meal is a chance to nourish your body with vegetables, or perhaps lean proteins like meat and fish? And when you crave sweet things, what if fruits were the very first thing that pops into your mind? I want you to get a size and scale of how many different combinations there are, where perhaps there could even be infinite healthy meals based on different combinations of food that can go together, different ways of cooking them, ensuring excitement and variety in your diet. Because sooner or later you'll realize that the scale moving towards 65 kilograms isn't just about weight. It's a testament to your determination and discipline. Your self-esteem skyrockets as you inch closer to your health goals, reflecting in every action you take. Because fear no longer holds you back. You are unstoppable in your pursuits. And what if that confidence leads to more friendships and potential relationships? I want you to get a sense that in this future, You are someone that you are proud of, but you're also someone that inspires new generations. I want you to see perhaps a young girl, and I want you to see how she looks at that future version of you that is lean and strong and slim and healthy, making great choices, that even if they're stressed or insecure, they don't feed that low self-worth with snacks and sugar. I want you to see yourself as a role model, as a lighthouse in the storm, guiding this little girl into a confident future of her own. I want you to imagine that your intuition that you've doubted in the past has the opportunity to be your compass, guiding you towards those foods that heal, energize, and satisfy. Because each meal you choose could either be feeding high self-esteem or low self-worth. And what if the most loving thing you could do is to give yourself the future you desire? That you can satiate your hunger. You can give yourself foods that taste incredible, and you can move your life to a life of freedom, confidence, and high self-esteem. So imagine that future. See yourself glowing with confidence. See that future version of you that doesn't have to be years in the future. It could be weeks or even months, where you emit and radiate an energy of attractiveness, desirability. See yourself turning heads wherever you go. Because you're not just transforming your body, you're crafting a lifestyle of wellness, confidence, and infinite potential. So I want you to see yourself in the future in a happy relationship, looking strong and lean and slim. See yourself in the career that gives you a feeling of fulfillment. And see yourself with a confident smile in a slim body. And then imagine that all it takes to achieve this is to make the decision to feed your confidence and self-esteem with natural, healthy foods. And if your unconscious mind is ready to do away with tracking and measuring, thinking about food all the time, and to just start giving that confident future version of you what they need to be who they want to be, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to think of just 2 or 3 things that you could do immediately to build momentum in this area of your life. What is your very next meal? What could you do at the very point where you're craving snacks the next time instead? What can you do to move your body more? Because every time you do something different from what has become a habit for you, you're breaking an old habit and building a new one. And I want you to empower that part of you that desires to be the very best version of you possible. To be a louder voice than the voice that wants you to be full of insecurities and fears and hesitation and doubt. That voice has been too loud for too long. It's time that another voice was heard, and if you're ready to empower that part, the part that truly wants you to be confident, free, to be free of the shackles of those things that weren't fun and weren't desirable, to let go of the past and open a new chapter. Let me know by nodding your head. And then I want you to find yourself back there by the side of moving water, staring into patterns on the surface. But you walk away from that moving water feeling like something has changed. Because from this point onwards, every choice becomes a choice as to which version of you you're feeding. The free, confident version of you, or the version of you that feels stuck and blocked and insecure. Because that version of you likes cakes and carbohydrates, and you can feed that version if that's the future you want, or you can starve that version and feed that confident, free, high self-esteem version of you. But that version of you likes salads and vegetables and lean proteins and healthy foods and to drink water. But you can do that and enjoy the process. And as you return to the present, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and get a sense that you're going to create momentum in your very next meal, starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.